Hi, Adam Bazalgette here from SW Golf Academy. I'm at the beautiful club at Mediterra. Today, do this for 7 minutes and you'll get better at golf. Well, let's at least say do this regularly, and if you get this principle in mind, you will certainly improve your ball striking. Hope you're going to find it helpful. Briefly, if you're new to the channel, would love it if you'd subscribe. It helps us build momentum and bring you free content. Also, next time at the App Store, look at SW Golf Academy app. Free app with all sorts of fun training tools, tempo trainers, green reading trainers, etc. Hope you'll consider picking that up. So trail wrist, right wrist for the right-handed golfer, has to be bent a little bit at impact. That helps you compress the ball. It's your job is to apply pressure to the ball to move it forward. It also helps you hit the ball before the ground in the case of an iron. That's what's going to lead us into our drill that I think will make such a difference for you. But the bent wrist at impact is very different in the takeaway. Let's have a look at the pros. You get a good mental picture, and then we can practice this two-way pattern. It will make a big difference. Okay, there's the late great Payne Stewart at impact on a driver. Now certainly he's not hitting down on the ball, but you'll notice there's angle between the trail arm and the ball, angle in the back of that right wrist, in other words. That allows him to apply pressure, as we said. But if you watch him in the takeaway, it's a very different look there. Club dragging or lagging almost in response to the body turn. That's the key. If you look at him in the takeaway and the same position coming into impact, drastically different look in the right wrist. In other words, again, the club is responding to him. There's not a lot of angle there as he starts back, but by impact or coming into impact, those hips have really loaded that angle. I used to work at a country club at Heathrow in Orlando in the late 1980s. He was the representative tour pro. I always remember him coming into the pro shop, striding right up to me and sticking his hand out and introducing himself to me, which I thought was very nice. I've always been a Payne Stewart fan. Let's have a look at Jack Nicklaus, and you'll see here again the body moves, the club and arms respond a bit. Nothing much in the right wrist there, but watch how the hips change direction and a very different look in the right wrist coming up. So we could look at takeaway and approaching impact, and you see a very different look. Let's have a look down the line just briefly. Brooks Koepka, takeaway there, approaching impact there. Look at the angle that's been created by that dynamic motion. So the point I'm making is let the club respond to you. That's why his club hasn't whipped in. That's why his right wrist looks pretty flat. And then let it respond to you coming down, so that as you get ready to hit, you have loaded that right wrist. You practice this, it's going to be good for you. Have a free 3-part video course below this, Solid Strike Formula. Hope you'll go down after the video, check the link and pick that up for yourself. Thanks. Let's cover a couple of points. So let's look at the exercises you could do from 2 different angles. Maybe an at-home version from this angle. I've got a heavy, thick towel up against something. In this case, it's a bucket of range balls. Start to get the feeling on a small scale how the club reacts to you. In other words, the club almost feels like it lags a bit going back. And then your dynamic body motion, the movement of your hips, creates that bend in the wrist, which is what you're looking for. Pretty simple to do. You've just got to get the feel here for how the club is responding to you and how to apply the pressure to the ball. Great on a small scale. Let's actually look at it hitting a couple of little shots from this angle. So principle, I like to use the towel. The end of the towel, that's the club head, should respond to the hand. That's your core. Then you get dynamic pattern. You get a strong dynamic pattern. You also get repeatability. I'm telling you, if you try to take this club in your hands and just place it in the right spots, you're never going to have that great repeatability or that athleticism. So if this is the case, the club should stay outside my hands like the end of the towel, and with the reaction of my body, it works back behind my hands. Don't be afraid. I like to say this, but it's true. Play around, overdo it. Get a little bit goofy. Let me overdo one, really let this thing lag. I mean, that was an okay shot. It didn't feel right to me, but it allows me to accentuate that feeling. And then just start to carry it out to some slightly bigger swings. Get the right feeling, and you'll be on the right track. Really cement these feelings. They'll really help you with your golf. They'll get you hitting the ball properly and consistently and with athleticism.